Good morning. In this lecture, we are going to do a quick revision on first half of unit, which is DC circuit. These are the content in a DC circuit. The first one is introduction. Here we learn about some basic terms involved in electrical engineering, which is charge, current, voltage, etc. Moving on to the next concept, which is basic electrical elements. Elements in electricity are classified into two types. The first one is a passive element and the second one is an active element. Active elements delivers energy, passive elements consumes energy. I think we first discussed about the passive element, which is a resistor, inductor, capacitor. The first one, resistor, consumes electrical energy and dissipates electrical energy in the form of heat, and we also derived an expression R equal to rho L by A, and we also saw how the resistance will vary with the increase in length or decrease in length, how the resistance vary with a change in cross section. Moving on to the inductor, second element. Inductor and capacitor both stores electrical energy, and we also derived expression for energy stored in inductor as well as in capacitor. But inductor stores energy in the form of magnetic field, whereas a capacitor stores energy in the form of electric field. And we also observe that inductor opposes the sudden change in current, whereas capacitor opposes sudden change in voltage. And we also derived an expression for voltage and current in an inductor and voltage and current in a capacitor. And we also derived voltage and current relationship in a resistor. Moving on to the second type of elements, which is active element. Active elements are again divided into dependent sources, independent sources. The examiner may ask independent sources or dependent sources, or he may ask in short about both dependent and independent sources. This section, classifications of basic electrical element, is most important, and also three basic laws, which is Ohm's law, Kirchhoff voltage law, Kirchhoff current law, which we are going to discuss, are most important. Moving on to the classifications, active elements are classified into two, dependent sources and independent sources. Independent sources. Here, the voltage source does not depend upon any other parameters in the circuits. The other parameters may be the voltage or current in other branch. What is a DC voltage source? At t equal to 0, voltage will be 0. After t, at any instant t greater than 0, the voltage will be a constant. This is for an ideal voltage source. For a practical voltage source, a little drop will be present, since practical voltage source has a little internal resistance in series. Coming to the ideal current source, if x-axis is a time and a y-axis is a current, at t equal to 0 the current will be 0. For t greater than 0 the current will be constant. For a practical current source, it will be in this way. This drop is due to the leakage current. Moving on to the dependent sources. Dependent sources are again classified into four types: voltage control voltage source, current control voltage source, voltage control current source, current control current source. And we also learned the representation of sources, different sources. Independent sources are represented with the circles, whereas dependent sources are represented with the diamond shape. If it is a current source, we are going to represent that one with the arrow. Same with the dependent sources. If it is a voltage source, we are going to represent with plus minus symbol. Similarly with the dependent sources, and also two ends of the voltage source. So this is independent voltage source, independent current source, dependent voltage source, dependent current source. Moving on to the next concept, which are three laws. The first one is Ohm's law, second one Kirchhoff voltage law, third one Kirchhoff current law. I think we started with the Ohm's law. The statement of Ohm's law is the current through an element is proportional to the voltage across an element. And we also finally got an expression by adding a proportionality constant. We finally got an expression V equal to I into R. This is Ohm's law. Moving on to the next law. The next law we discussed is Kirchhoff current law. Kirchhoff current law states that the algebraic sum of currents at a node equal to 0. There is also one more definition for Kirchhoff current law, which is the sum of entering currents is equal to the sum of leaving currents. Moving on to the Kirchhoff voltage law. As name implies, the algebraic sum of voltages equal to 0. In a closed loop, the voltage is equal to 0. And I also gave you some guidelines how to apply KVL in a closed loop. And the problems related to Ohm's law, Kirchhoff voltage law, Kirchhoff current law are also important. Moving on to the next concept, which are additional concept. The second half of the long answer questions will be a problem. To solve those problems, you definitely have to learn these concepts, which is a voltage division rule, current division rule, and elements in series, elements in parallel. The first one is a voltage division rule. Voltage division rule is applicable for a resistors or elements connected in series. I connected elements in series. We know the voltage across combination of these two elements, which is V, and if we want to find the voltage across one of the element, suppose say R1, then we have to use voltage division rule. As we know, expression V equal to total voltage into resistance of target element. If R1 is a resistance, R1 divided by resistance of target element plus remaining equivalent. What is the remaining? This is a remaining section. What is the equivalent resistance of this remaining section? Which is R2. Similarly, you can find V2, which is voltage across resistor 2. This is voltage division rule, which can be used to find voltage across elements. Moving on to the current division rule. Current division rule is applicable for a parallel circuit. If I is the entering current splits into two. Let's say I1 and I2. And R1 R2 be the resistance. If we want to find the current in one of the branch, assume I1, then the expression will be I1 equal to, I want to find I1 total current into, we are calculating I1, so the formula will be remaining equivalent. What is the remaining part? This is a remaining part. If you remove this section, this is a remaining part. This remaining part resistance. What is the resistance of remaining part? Which is R2 divided by remaining part plus self resistance. What is the resistance of this particular branch? Which is R1. This is a formula for a current division rule. If you want to find the current in one of the branch where resistors are connected in parallel. Similarly, you can find I2 equal to same I1 into, you have to replace R1 with R2 and R2 with R1. Moving on to the next one, elements in series combination. This is a very basic one, which is resistance. What is the equivalent resistance if the elements are connected in series, and what is the equivalent resistance if the elements are connected in parallel? You know, if the elements are connected in series, for a resistor and inductor, you have to simply add both resistance value. If the elements are connected in parallel, you have a formula which is R equivalent equal to 1 by R equivalent equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. This is also applicable for a inductor but not for the capacitor. For capacitor, if the capacitors are connected in parallel, C equivalent equal to just addition of both the capacitance value. So in conclusion, I suggest you to first go through these three laws, which are Ohm's law, Kirchhoff voltage law, Kirchhoff current law, and also learn 2-3 problems related to Ohm's law, Kirchhoff voltage law, Kirchhoff current law. Basic problems. Moving on. Next, study the passive devices, which are resistor, inductor, capacitor, and voltage current relation. And the next important thing is active elements. First, study independent sources, both ideal voltage and current source and practical voltage and current source. Next, learn dependent sources. And the next thing you have to learn is a introduction part. In introduction part, I gave you some basic terms like charge, current, voltage, which are most important. You can expect a short answer question from this section. And additional, this section is important to solve numericals. The second half of the essay question will be a numerical one, so you have to learn this section in order to solve that particular question.